Hello and welcome back to Citizen Pew. This is Citizen Pew Commentary, and today I'm going to talk about a few knives I picked up over the last month. Now, I'm not really going to do a lot of knife videos on my channel, but probably once a month I'll do one if I learn something new or interesting or pick up something. Like I said, I'm getting into knives and I'm learning metals, learning styles and all that, and as I learn stuff, I think it's good to share. There's probably other people out there who don't know a lot, and maybe this will help them out. And for those of you who do know a lot, you can definitely leave some great comments to help me and other people out. So, as you saw in the title, you know the knives I picked up. So this first one here is just a Gerber. I'm going to go through the knives real quick and let you know what I picked up. Then I'm going to show you some web pages I've been looking at to learn more about the metals and their properties and stuff like that. And I'll put those links in the description so that you can go visit them if you want. And if you know of any better links, by all means, leave them in the comments section. But I picked up this Gerber, and it is a sheep's foot knife is what they call it. And I've never owned a sheep's foot knife, and I saw it at the store, and I was like, you know what? Yep, I'll pick it up, try it out, see what it's good for. If nothing else, it'll give me something to research and learn about, right? I also picked up this, I think it's Ruike or Ruike knife. And it's nothing like, it's just kind of a plain knife. But it's, I think it's kind of flashy. So, and it's a straight back blade, as you can see right there. And yeah, I like it. It's pretty neat. And then I picked up this Templar knife. And it's a auto open, auto close knife, and it is a dagger style. So it's pretty neat. So I wanted to go over basically what I've learned of metals and how to rate these knives that I picked up for the prices I paid. Let's take a look at a website here I've got 3 websites pulled up that I've been looking at a lot lately. The first one here is Blade HQ. And they have a learning section here. You can go click on the right and learn different things. But the thing I like the most so far, that I've been reading the most so far from this website, is they have a little list here of metals. So they have premium steels, high-end steels, mid-range steels, and budget steels. So all the knives I have now, I've been looking at them and then also kind of analyzing what I might want to pick up down the line for whatever reason. Maybe I want something that stays really sharp, but it might be harder to sharpen and all that. So it's a really good resource, I think. There's also another one here, and it's Cherokee Observer. And they have a chart also. It's very similar. They have a table of contents here that you can go over, but they also break down metals into super steels, premium grade knife steels, high grade knife steels, mid grade knife steels, low-end knife steels, and then just other steels you should know about. And it's pretty good too. They kind of mesh up really good, but they do have a few differences in what they classify different steels. So I've been looking at both, and there's very few differences, but it's interesting the different takes of these metals. And then the other thing I've been looking at lately, there's a website, and it's called Alpha Knife Supply. Always innovating. But they sell basically material so you can make knives. And, pardon me. So I've been using this to kind of get a price gauge on how much the steel itself in the blades I'm purchasing costs compared to other steels. So that when I look at buying a knife, I know roughly, let me switch back over here. I know roughly how much I'm spending on the knife itself, like the metal that's in the knife itself, just ballpark. And then based on the blade style, I'll know how much work goes into creating the knife from that metal. And then I can look at the aesthetics and stuff like that and kind of gauge too. Now, like I said, I don't have enough exposure to make ideal decisions, but it is helping me make better decisions on picking up knives. Now, I'm still in the budget knife phase. For me, budget knives are under $100. So for you, they might be under 50, or for some knife enthusiasts, that might, their budget knife might be under $300 or something like that. So, but for me right now, I'm looking for budget knives under $100 that are the best quality I can find in that price range. And so the three I picked up, two of them I was using that critique. The other one I picked up because I've never had one, and that is the Gerber here, this Gerber sheepfoot. And I've never had a sheepfoot, like I said, so I picked it up. Now, one thing I noticed with this knife is it doesn't have imprinted on it the metal it's made of. And looking at other knives I have in my inventory, especially like pocket knives that I've just always had just laying around, just cheapies I buy, if it's not using anything above a budget grade steel, it's probably not going to be stamped on the knife. That's one thing I found. So if you don't see a steel grade stamped on the knife, just assume, in my opinion, it's budget steel. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that it isn't going to be useful. I've had many pocket knives that are apparently budget steel that I've got a lot of use out of. But they're throwaway knives, in my opinion. If I lose them, I lose them, because I didn't pay but maybe $10, $20 for them. Now, this thing here was right around $30. And I picked it up because, like I said, it was kind of neat. I've never had a knife that's a sheepfoot blade, and I wanted to try it out, see what I might use it for, do some research on it, see what it's intended for, and all that. So, but one thing I will say, for $30, it does have a little hook on it, but I mean, it does not have very good motion. That's about as far as I can get it open by flicking. Oh, a little bit further, but I can't get it all the way locked up flipping it. Just flicking the little lever there. So when you look at that, it does. You can kind of see there's some bushings in there, but the piece that's holding the bushings and the knife all together, the pin, is not adjustable, so I could not loosen it up any. It's like, I don't know if it's riveted or what, but it's fixed like that. So there you go, $30, right? And this, Gerber is, I'm not going to say, Gerber makes some good stuff. I've used Gerber products my whole life. But this knife, when looking at being a knife, starting to collect knives, it's, okay. It'll do its thing, but like I said, it's nothing to write home about, right? Now, this second knife that I have, now this is the, it's I got the box right here. It's, I think it's pronounced Ruike, or I don't know. I can't pronounce it. If you know how to pronounce it, put it in the comments section for me so I don't sound like a fool next time. But, like I said, it was flashy. I liked the simplicity of the grip, and it opens up super easy. And as you can see there, it doesn't take much, and I can almost flick it all the way up just with a light tug. But with a full tug, I can get it to flick all the way up, and it locks. It locks good. And so I looked up the steel on this, and it is stamped in there. I don't know if you can see it, but the steel grade is stamped in there. And it is, if I can get it right angle, 14C28N. Now, I looked that up on one of the websites here. Let me go over there and let's see here. It was, let me just go ahead and show you here. So right here, 14C28N. That's a mid-grade knife steel. So there you go. Mid-grade knife steel. Now, I paid $45 for this. It is mass produced, I'm guessing. It's made in China. But for $45 compared to this Gerber at $30, and this metal being a mid-grade quality metal, I mean, that's $45 well spent in my mind as a budget knife. So, like I said, learning something every day. So the like I said, the steel in this for $45 and doing some other comparisons, not a bad deal. Even though it is mass produced, probably in some factory, I like it. I think it's so far of my collection, for a manual opening knife, I think it's probably one of my better buys so far. And like I said, it's halfway under my budget for budget knives at $45. And that was tax everything out the door. All right, let's look at this next one. Now this is an auto open, and I did a video a while back on the Cobra-Tech auto opens, and I have one here to compare to it. So this is a Templar knife. Now I got the box here for it. Templar knives, and I hadn't heard of them, but one of my local gun stores has started carrying a few of them, and I saw this one, and it's a dagger style, and I was like, man, I want one. So I picked it up. Now this ran $80, and I think it was marked at $79.99, and so it was like probably about $85 out the door with taxes and stuff. But you can see on here, its grade of steel is on the knife. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because I'm going to compare it to this Cobra-Tech I picked up for right at the same price. And this is a Cobra-Tech auto open knife, and you can see the blade there. Now this is like a straight back style blade, while this is a dagger style. But for roughly the same price, I'm going to show you what I found. The Templar knife, its steel grade is 40. Oh boy! All right, I'm getting old. Give me a second here. Put on my old man glasses. 44C. That's what I thought. So the Templar knife is 44C. And if we go back over here to this chart, 44C also, according to the Cherokee Observer, falls under a mid-grade knife steel. 44C right there. So that's what I got with the Templar knife for around $80. Now, the Cobra-Tech knife is D2 steel. So let's check out that. I'll jump back over here. Jumping back and forth. I apologize. But here we go. D2 steel, you'll see, falls in the category above as high-grade knife steel. Now, if you go over here, the Blade HQ labels D2 steel as mid-range steel, and it labels the 400 series steel, which would include the 440C, as budget steel. So that is one of the differences. It still has the D2 one step above the 440C, but it puts everything down on a lesser grade than what the Cherokee Observer does. But so there you go. I'm guessing there's not a total consensus in the knife community. But using the weather website with the pricing, I did find that the D2, at least right now with steel pricing, the D2 is about 4 times more expensive steel than the 44C. So, yeah. Now, I don't know if there might just be a shortage of one versus the other, but right now that's what it is. I haven't looked at the historical trends. It may be less than that normal, but we are in a economic predicament right now, right? Where just stuff is sitting off the coast of places in big shipping containers. So it may be an artificial price difference because of the economy at the time. Anyhow, D2 steel, though, is more expensive than the 44C. So these knives were the same price. Does that mean that I got a better deal with the Cobra-Tech because it's better steel? And I got ripped off with this one? I don't think so. Because one other thing I've been looking at is how much work it takes in to go to, sharpening the blade and contouring it. So as you can see, the dagger style has been colorized a little bit. And you got to remember, it is two-sided. So there's a blade on each side. Whereas my Cobra-Tech is one blade. So the amount of machining work after, building the knife with the material probably played a role in bringing the cost of the dagger style up to what the cost of the Cobra-Tech here is. But other than that, the frames are about the same construction of aluminum. The levers are about the same, everything. They both have glass breakers on them. So I mean, in all intents and purposes, they're the same, construction, I would say, style. I mean, even though each brand has their own uniqueness about it. But I'm thinking the blades themselves, like I said, the D2 steel, more expensive metal, but the machine work to make a dagger with the colorized metal probably is what drove this one up to match in price. That's my guess. So something to think about and consider when looking for knives if you're new to it like I am. Anyhow, that's kind of where I'm at on knives. So let me know what you think. If you have any of these knives, I'd be interested to know your take. Like I said, I didn't know about Templar or the Ruike knives until I saw them at the store. And I picked all of these knives up at a gun store. And because they usually have knives, and I go check them out now. And like I said, my budget is under $100 right now. I'm not going to spend more than $100 on a knife right now, especially learning the knife world and what's good, what's not, best metals for what type of knives and all that. So, if you're new to knives, hopefully this illuminated your knowledge a little bit. If you know a lot about knives, maybe this will help you when you converse with other people, talking to them about knives, so they know you can enlighten them on stuff. Because like I said, I got a couple guys I work with, and they are knife enthusiasts, and I learn a lot from them. So anyhow, let me show you these one more time. So this was the Gerber sheepfoot right here, folding knife, runs right around $30 out the door. And then this is the Ruike knife, straight back blade style, and it runs $45. At least that's what I paid for it. Hopefully, I don't know if hopefully that's close to what things are in your area. And then of course the Templar knife, dagger, auto open close, knife. This one I think is really cool, so I was really happy to find this one. But there you go. That's what I have. Let me know your thoughts. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to say about knives, by all means, put it in the comment section. I am a novice at knives, and I really do try to interact with any comments on these videos because, like I said, I'm learning. And sometimes you're kind of blindly learning, right? You're just Googling stuff. But it's always nice to have somebody kind of point you in a direction if they know something that you're trying to learn. They might be able to, I've found lots of websites talking about knife shapes, which is great. But I haven't found I haven't found hardly anything telling me what the best use for those shapes are. So there's a few things out there, but that's one thing I'm lacking right now is trying to learn what these knife blade shapes are really good for as far as applications. So anyhow, all right, I'm rambling on. That's all I got for you. And yeah, have a good day.